welcome to the Modern Mystery School UK and EU podcast and YouTube channel. And we are back with another fabulous interview with the lovely Jessica. Jessica, how are you doing?
I am feeling quite on top of the world today, I must be honest. How about you?
Now, is that something to do with the 10-month Kabbalah journey, the Universal Hermetic Ray Kabbalah journey that you have just completed by any chance?
Yeah, I don't know if it's woof because it's over or woof because I'm so abundantly grateful for the life that I have because of this 10 months journey.
That's amazing. And just to give people a little bit of background, Jessica is a life activation practitioner. She's a ritual master. And so she was able to embark on this journey of advanced, spiritual teaching. So Jessica, tell us, how has it transformed your life? If so, how? Can you share that?
Yes, I'd love to. I really, really love life change and transformation. And I truly sometimes feel like people can't keep up with me. I've got a new business, I've got a new country, things like this. People are like, oh my word. And I'm always like, I get it. I understand. Hang 10, guys. I promise there's a plan. And until I met Kabbalah, I didn't really have any fuel behind all of this. I had all the ideas, I had the directions, but I wasn't taking action on it. And part of Kabbalah, you set out all of the things that you wish to encompass on this journey, and it allows you to truly tap into my purpose. Who am I? Where am I from? Where am I going? What is my purpose in life? And really ask these questions so that I could create a new trajectory of my life, a new direction and a new path. And I thought I already had a lot on my plate in the beginning of Kabbalah, but now I have even more on my plate and I can manage it. Yeah, sure, there's some days. We all have days. However, I have the capacity to navigate all of these fruits that I've created throughout Kabbalah. And it wasn't easy. You get challenged and faced with parts. I got challenged and faced with parts of myself that I didn't want to have a look at. Believe me, I was avoiding it for years. And it truly allowed me to tap into a deeper knowing of thyself and self-honesty so that I could get these fruits, businesses, entrepreneurial ideas going, so that I could leave my full-time job, so that I could live in the area that I wish to live in, so I could commit deeper to service, and so I could live a life, a joyful life, and not a life working all the time just for money. I now work to live. And that sounds like, that sounds very, it's an old statement, but I work to live my life alive. I wake up every day and I get to do what I want to do. And that is the most valuable thing. I thought having a massive paycheck at the beginning of the year was like, yes, I've made it. And then Kabbalah was like, are you sure that's it? And I got challenged on all of this. And the biggest blossom of my transformation is I have now become a freelance, self-employed, many things. And I have my own calendar and my diary, and I can dedicate my days to my clients and to be of service as well as bringing income in. And that was the most magical fruit I could have ever asked for. And I didn't think it was possible. I doubted myself up until yesterday.
I love that. Now, obviously, you've mentioned a few times that you were challenged and, so was there healing that had to take place, and did you have to, did you have to apply yourself with that?
Yeah, hugely. I mean, I've personally struggled with eating disorders for 20 years, since I was 8 years old. And I'd battled it and battled it and battled it, but there was still, with addiction and eating disorders, it's really tricky because I was my own worst enemy. So you can keep little things hidden. And I'm just using this as an example because it's a very, very powerful example. And what Kabbalah did, it revealed to me what I was still hiding, that in my psyche, I didn't even know I was still hiding. So that's just one example. And then it allowed me to heal it. And I'm not just talking about like going to an eating disorder meeting. I didn't go to a single eating disorder meeting. It showed me the trauma. It showed me the experiences and the challenges that happened in my childhood. And I kept hold on to until now, that was still holding me back from really loving my body, really loving myself, really surrendering to the fact I have a disease, an autoimmune disease, and accepting that and working on healing that instead of running from it. So that's just one example. The other example I can go into is scarcity and lack. I've always lived a very abundant life. However, I've always had fear that if I don't have a salary that is incredibly strong, then what am I going to do, you know? And it challenged me on that. It took everything away from me. And I allowed it to. I said, I surrender, do it. Let's do it. I changed my facial care products to like entry level. I changed everything. I took everything down. It humbled me out. And it said, now you can build yourself again. So I had to face a lot of trauma. I got sent by the tree to go live with my grandmother with Alzheimer's for 3 months and really connect to service and really connect to living, to experience love and joy and to be of service. And so I got challenged with all of these things because for me, I wanted to live a very bougie life in London with all of the high life. I was so obsessed with the high life. I'd been working in members clubs and in beautiful areas, and I just was like attached to that. And my understanding of wealth and being rich was so misguided. So it really challenged me on, you know, letting go of a lot of designer brands. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but right now it's not where my focus needs to be. And that's where it was. So I sold all my handbags. I sold all the things that I had an attachment to in the material world. And I was like, right, I'm going to start again. And that was scary. That was really scary.
You've done so much. I love that. And I think that's a real testament because, I think having these tools as a younger, the younger generation. I mean, I don't want to sound old, but it's true. You've got all that energy, and if you can then put it into really creating something that has a solid foundation. I mean, I cannot even think of how powerful that is going forward instead of leaving it until later on in life where then you've got to unpick it. So what would you say to the younger generations who are thinking, oh well, I'm just going to buy my house, I'm just going to get my car, I'm just going to go on holiday, and I can think about my health and well-being, kind of after an afterthought, which I get. We're programmed to say let's get security. I completely understand that. Make sure you can pay your rent, obviously. But what would you say to people that are perhaps out there in that place?
So many things. It could be a separate talk completely. For the youth of today, for anyone my age or younger, even, we've got some super young ritual masters along the path, and I've even asked them. I've been like, what does it feel like to be in this level of dedicated service and be 20 when your friends are out partying and putting deposits down on homes and things like that. And at the end of the day, we live in the most incredible world in the world, like possible, and also the most scary. We've got all these systems in place and mortgages and houses and all these expectations outside of ourselves to be a certain place at a certain age. I've got ex-boyfriends and friends who are getting married and having kids, and I'm just grounded in London. I've just decided, okay, I've done traveling for 4.5 years now, technically 6. I'm ready. I had to get it out of my way. That was my thing I had to get out, because I knew that as soon as I dedicated myself to service, there was no going back. And not that I wouldn't explore the beautiful world while being in service. It's just my intention shifted, and it wasn't about going to go experience a hammock or things like that. So that was a sacrifice I had to make. However, it's given me so much. It's given me a life that I truly enjoy living. And it's more than that. So for anyone out there who's a bit younger, who's looking at these things and going stuff, and they're like, maybe, and I've got some friends out there and some clients who are like, not just yet. One more party, one more skydive, one more travel until initiation, one more travel until the life activation. I understand, because we resist things we know are really good for us. So if you're feeling called, if there's even an inkling in your mind, just a little inkling, know that that's your soul. And it doesn't have to be today. It can be tomorrow, it can be next week, it can be a month, it can be a year. Sure, divine timing, but at the same time, sure, divine timing. But if you can hear it and you can see it, that means you're ready, for me. And it might not mean tomorrow you need to be a ritual master. It's just, if you've had the honor of even hearing about a life activation, then if the fact that it's in your sphere and that it's available to you is a gift. Take it while you can, even if it's the only thing you ever do. Get activated. And if you seek more, the ancient lineage and the mystery schools is the best place to get it, because it is so sacred, it's so special, it's so true, and you get held and you have an incredible community. And there's absolutely nothing like this in the world. There is nothing like the community I received and was held by through Kabbalah and the mystery school, but especially in Kabbalah. And that was something I learned as being someone youthful, letting go of my party friends and all of like the community I'd made in the festival scene. And I was like, I can't wait for one day to have this type of community again. And with Kabbalah, I just, after a study group, after an ascension, I was like, wow, I've done it. I've created a community. I've manifested a community that is in the light of the light and is helping me progress along my path, our path, instead of sabotaging. And that sacrifice is so worth it. It really, really is. But yeah, what did my guide say? My guide, Julia Tiffin, there is freedom in restriction, and Kabbalah truly helped me understand that.
I 100% agree. I 100% agree. I've never been so free in my life. And it's all down to the path initiation, studying the universal Hermetic Ray Kabbalah within the lineage, ritual master path, all the Hermetic classes. So I completely agree. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. I know that will inspire many. And if you do want to join us for the next tree, then if you're watching this on replay, the next tree is going to be in 2025, maybe towards the end of the year, towards the end of the year. And that's for all UK, EU people. You can come and join us. We shall welcome you. There are a few steps to ensure that you can join. You can do the life activation, so you can contact Jessica. Her details are in the bio. She'll help you, and then Empower Thyself. She'll help you find a class near to you. And then Healers Academy, which happens in March 2025. So you are all welcome. And thank you, Jessica, for joining us and sharing your experience.
Thank you so much.